This is just a quick tutorial on quick disconnect fittings and how to remove tubing from these quick disconnect fittings. The first thing you need to know about these are that it's easier and much easier to remove the tubing from the fitting if there's no pressure on the line. So in most cases, if you can, relieve the pressure on the line by opening up an outlet or having the equipment call for water. Well, the way this tubing works is each one of these fittings has a collar, and the collar is this little piece right here. You can actually remove these in some cases, but the collar is the piece that rotates at the end of the fitting. It has little steel tongs inside there, and there's an O-ring back there. To insert tubing, all we're going to do is simply push the tubing in till it stops, about 1/4 inch. Now it's inserted. When we pull on the tubing, it won't come out, because as you pull, the teeth are basically holding it in. It's almost like a Chinese finger trap. The harder you pull on the tubing, the harder those teeth bite down into it. So to remove the tubing, all you have to do is simply push the collar towards the center of the fitting, and at the same time, while you hold that in, pull on the tubing. Now, sometimes it takes 2 hands to do it. I'm using one finger here, the other finger here to hold that collar in. And if there's pressure on the line, it's much more difficult. So once again, I'm going to push that collar in, and I'm going to pull on the tubing at the same time. Sometimes it'll come out 1/8 of an inch, and you just got to, push that collar in a little bit more, and it'll pop all the way out. Sometimes it's easiest if there's already pressure on the line. The collar will be, the little space here will be pushing it out. Sometimes it's easier to, while you push in the collar, to push in on the tubing as well. And then once you hold that collar in, slide the tubing out. And once it's out, then, like I said, to simply reconnect it, push it in. If you get in a jam and you just can't seem to remove the tubing from the fitting because there is pressure on the line, if there is no pressure on the line, there is no reason why the tubing can't be removed. But if there is pressure in the line and you have a little slack in the line, you can always cut the tubing and make it a nice square cut where it's not at a diagonal, but cut the tubing square, and then now that the pressure is relieved, you can take the residual piece there and remove it. And notice here that I'm applying pressure on the collar on opposite sides of the collar, not just one side, because it's releasing on this side but not releasing on this side. So sometimes I'll have to take 2 people. One person can push in the fitting like this, the other person can come and pull on the fitting at the same time. But if you're by yourself, usually use these 2 fingers and just slide it out.